Hi there, thanks for joining me in the rain. It's just started drizzling down, but I think we'll stick with it. This shouldn't take too long. I'll be showing you my Leatherman Skeletal CX today. I've had it for about 3 weeks. I've used it a fair bit, and I thought I would share my thoughts on what works and just give some advice on whether you should buy it, what some alternatives might be, and perhaps what you would need it for in the first place. As far as I'm aware, the Leatherman Skeletal CX is Leatherman's entry into perhaps everyday carry multi-tools in the purest form. I know they had the Freestyle come out at about the same time. This seems to be an extension of the Freestyle. The Freestyle would be pretty much the same tool, but just ending there, so it's missing a couple of the tools, namely the carabiner and the little screwdriver bit exchanger. I think these tools are designed to be somewhat pocket knife replacements. This one certainly is more than adequate at that because it's got a really high quality blade steel, actually better than most of the pocket knives I've ever owned, although I'm not really a massive knife guy. A tool like this is really good in a place like Australia, or I believe the United Kingdom, where pocket knives are a bit politically incorrect, unfortunately. When you're carrying something that looks more like a multi-tool than an out-and-out blade, you're less likely rather to get looked at bug-eyed when you're at the post office cutting some packaging or something like that. It looks nice and utilitarian while still looking good, so it's a bit more of a safer choice, I think. Now the tool itself is a very stripped down bare bones Leatherman. I've got a fair few Leathermans. It's definitely one of the you get the least amount of tools for your money, which sounds like a bit of a criticism, but I actually think it works quite favourably for the tool, and the tool's definitely got a place in the Leatherman line. You get, as far as I can tell, 4 tools. I would Leatherman count the pliers as about 3 or 4 different tools, but I'm pretty happy to just call it the one. So what you basically get is this knife. It's a one-hand opening 154 cm knife. It's locking with a liner lock there. Liner springs in as the knife passes it and then locks up. It's got a really good lock up. The blade doesn't move at all to side or up and down. The steel's higher quality than I think in the basic skeletal, and the basic skeletal has the serrations along the blade there. I don't like serrations as much. I'm really bad at sharpening them, and I like the high quality steel as well. I was quite excited to have such a sharp knife, which it really is. The knife obviously cuts really well. It's been used probably on dozens of cardboard boxes. I use it to cut up wax boxes, which I use as kindling for my fireplace. But I haven't touched it up at all. All I've done is clean the wax off with some WD-40. Yeah, cuts paracord really easily. It makes really clean cuts, and it came as what I would call scary sharp. Really good knife, and you could one hand close it, but you know what? I'm a little bit timid because, yeah, perhaps I'm just a bit unco, but I prefer to use 2 hands. The second tool, as they call it, is a carabiner. It's got a little picture of a bottle on the end there. That denotes that it's also a bottle opener. I haven't used it as a bottle opener yet. I've got plenty of other bottle openers. Every multi-tool you have seems to have a bottle opener on it, and I prefer to use the Swiss Army knife one. But I'm sure it works. The carabiner is a really cool way to carry it. I hook it onto my belt loop, and I know I look like a bit of a nerd with my Leatherman Skeletal hanging off my belt, especially the non-gear people, but it really works for me. It's really easy to snap on, snap off. It's got this pocket clip as well, but I find it's a bit sort of side heavy, and when you put it in your pocket, it sort of folds the pocket over on itself, which is okay. It's not the end of the world, but I much prefer the carabiner, although if I'm out in a public place, perhaps I'd put it in my pocket. So there you go. The inside tool is this Leatherman combination pliers, very similar in size to the Juice pliers, but they look a bit different, and they've got a bit more of a blunted nose on them. Yeah, they've got hard wire cutters, the grooved nut grabbers, and just the standard needle nose. Yeah, just really high quality construction. They've got plenty of grooves, and yeah, they'll grab anything that you really need them to, and they'll cut most things that you need them to as well. Let's see if I can get that to focus. You get the idea, you've all seen pliers. Yeah, I've used it a fair bit around my property. I've got lots of fencing from dogs, chicken wire and stuff. This is some pretty lightweight fencing wire I used to twitch fences together. So it's just testing the wire cutters there. So I've got Unco through the camera lens, but they'll go quite easily through normal wire like that. And then this is some thicker gauge galvanized wire that I use the hard wire cutters for, and they go through it really easily as well. Not really much pressure exerted. Handle's really comfortable. I sort of use it like this. I don't see a problem with using it like this either. Like that sort of sits in the palm of your hand well enough as well. But yeah, it just comes most naturally to use it like this. The bit driver on the end here, it's a replaceable bit. That is the number 2 Phillips, and on the back is the number 1 Phillips. It snaps in with this little button here, and then in the handle, in this carbon fibre insert there, this matted black part is just the carbon fibre that Leatherman boasts quite proudly about. I don't really see the benefit myself, but I guess it looks kind of cool, but I'm not too bothered. And that's, yeah, slides out from there. So that's the small or the medium and large flathead screwdrivers. Yeah, I'm really happy with the screwdrivers. It's not obviously a heavy duty screwdriver at all. If you want a heavy duty screwdriver on your multi-tool, you'll get a more of a full size multi-tool like a rebar, or which is in the same ish size category, or go and get a super. My phone cut off on me there, apologies. Yeah, the screwdrivers are great for something this size, but yes, get a bigger Leatherman or a more specialised Leatherman if you want the non-bit driver screwdrivers. Positives of the tool: the fit and finish is great, the materials are high quality, although I'm not really sure what the carbon really brings to the party, but there you go. Yeah, the blade steel is good. It's holds an edge apparently 3 times longer than the 420 HC that most Leathermans are made of. The pocket clips, it's a good pocket clip, but yeah, perhaps if they could have done it more in the middle or something, I don't know, but then that would have gotten in the way of the pliers. I'm sure they've done it as best as they can. There's a lot of thought in this tool. The ergonomics are really good. When you hold the knife, you can sort of put your finger there. People say that they can trigger the lock, but you'd have to hold it like this or something to do that. So I've never even worried about that at all. But yeah, it's very, very comfortable as a knife, and it's very, very comfortable as pliers. The screwdriver will get you by, but obviously it's got a bit of a kink to the whole shape of it, and just for light tasks. Bottle opener, yeah, that's always good to have, and I really do enjoy this retention system. It's a cool thing. Only minor quality issues I've seen is the bit driver holds in really snugly when you've got the number 2 out. However, when you look at these bits, the groove that locks into this goes a bit too far this way, so when you want to put it in this end and use your number 1 Phillips, it doesn't lock in. But it's still snug, but it doesn't look in. But that's just a really minor stupid thing to really nitpick about. I paid $100 for this on eBay, actually, 100 Australian dollars. I know they're cheaper in the US, but I guess it all comes out in the wash. Because I think, I don't know, we get paid more here or something. No idea, but that's pretty good. Buy these online, don't buy them at your local camping store. And that sounds really bad for local business, but I went into my local camping store and this was $190. Super Tool 300 was $300, whereas online these things very rarely scratch above $100. You need to be paying them more than that for like a Charge TTI or something. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with the Leatherman Skeletal CX, and I think that basically sums up my review. Thank you for watching.